Okay, so hi everyone, welcome to another AWS lecture. So in this lecture, what you're going to study about is you're going to study about Elastic Transcoder. And I don't have a PowerPoint presentation for Elastic Transcoder. I mean, it's pretty basic service. It helps a lot in terms of converting videos from one format to another. So I just thought that I would show you a very nice demo on Elastic Transcoder as to how I used it for my website. So right now, when I recorded my content for my website, it was around let's say it was around 3 GB in size, and we didn't want to incur a lot of cost in terms of data transfer and so on. So for my website, what I did was I used Elastic Transcoder to convert it into 1080p from 4K so that I could downscale it and also have it at a really good, pixel rate so that you will be able to at least view my face and view my friend's face. So therefore, I used Elastic Transcoder to convert one of my videos. So let's get started by looking at what Elastic Transcoder offers us and how it's very beneficial for us. And always remember that you can create your own pipeline. So you can record a video in a very high format like 4K or 8K, and then you can transcode it using Elastic Transcoder into different formats so that you have one format for just mobile-based viewing, one format for just web-based viewing, and one for tablet devices and so on. And you can have all of these videos in S3, which is pretty cool. And you can have all of these videos in different folders within S3, which is again amazing because based on the screen resolution of the user, you'll be able to render the content to the user based on which folder you would like to take that content from. So if suppose you find out that he is from a screen resolution of 1024 into 768, then go ahead and take it from a prefix or a folder in S3 bucket where you do have the 720p version of that video. Or if it's suppose from a 1080p resolution the request is coming from, then go ahead and retrieve the 1080p version of the video. So you can do all of these kinds of amazing stuff with Elastic Transcoder. So the first step that we are going to get started with Elastic Transcoder is we have to create an S3 bucket where we are going to save our videos. So I'm going to open up S3 in a new tab. So I'm going to create a bucket over here, and I'm going to call this bucket as Elastic Transcoder sample, probably my name and date of birth, 2395. And go ahead and click on create. So I'm having this bucket in the Northern Virginia region. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at that bucket. So I'm going to go ahead and upload a sample file over here, which is nothing but a video file. So probably just one of my course files. So let's see one file which is very low in size. So this is around 31 MB or so. Let's go with the API gateway. Why not? Click on upload. So once this video is uploaded, in the meantime, I'll walk you through the Elastic Transcoder settings. So I'm going to go to services and I'm going to find Elastic Transcoder. It should be somewhere under the media services if I'm not mistaken. Let me just search for that though. So yeah, it's over here. So I'm going to open up Elastic Transcoder in a new tab. So the way that you would start working with Elastic Transcoder is you have to first create a new pipeline. Then you have to create a job. You can also create your own customized presets if you're a video editor and so on. But we are going to create a new pipeline over here. I'm going to call this pipeline a sample pipeline. And the input bucket that I'm going to choose is my Elastic Transcoder bucket. And I'm going to leave Elastic Transcoder to create an IAM role for me, which is going to retrieve all of my objects within that bucket and so on. Okay. And the next thing that I'm going to choose is the configuration for the S3 bucket. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this S3 bucket. Again, I'm going to use the same bucket. And the storage class I'm going to have is standard. And the configuration bucket for the thumbnail, I'm going to choose the same bucket again. And this time the storage class is also going to be standard. And you can see that you can also go ahead and ensure that you configure notifications to use any existing SNS topic for on progress events or for on warning events or for on completion events or for on error events. So this is when Elastic Transcoder runs your pipeline and it runs your job in that pipeline, and you go through all of these different phases. You can also configure your own SNS notification for these phases, but right now I don't want my mail to be flooded with just notifications from AWS. So you can also go ahead and configure encryption. You can choose your custom encryption and choose any one of your KMS keys that you created. But right now I'm just going to go with the default encryption. I don't have any KMS keys in this account other than the default one. It's optional though. So let's go ahead and create the pipeline. The next thing that we are going to do is add a new job to this pipeline. So let's click on create job. So the pipeline we're going to choose is a sample pipeline that we created just now. The output key prefix, and this is something which is very important because this output key prefix, it must contain a slash somewhere at the first character because you have to specify which folder you would like this output to go into that respective bucket. So I'm going to choose the folder to be the folder to be converted slash, and then you can choose the input key, which is one of your files that you would like to convert. And my file that I've uploaded is the Amazon API gateway.mp4 file. And I'm not going to just keep these configurations as the default. And the output details that I would like to do right now is I'm going to convert this into 1080p video, because right now I do know that it's a 720p video, because generally Zoom recordings are on 720p. So I'm going to go with the 1080p video over here. And the output key, the name that I would like to give it is nothing but the same file name with a .mp4 extension. Okay. Probably just give it the name as converted. Why not? And you can also choose to create thumbnails, and even the thumbnail file name pattern you'll have to input. But right now I don't want any thumbnails. And you can also choose to do all of your rotation over here to clockwise or anti-clockwise, like 0 degrees, 90 degrees, and so on. You can also choose your encryption parameters as well as watermarks if you would like to choose any. But right now I don't want any watermarks on my video. And then I'm going to directly go ahead and click on create new job. So once you have created the job, it's going to start. You can go back over here. Sorry, not back over there. Just click on cancel. Okay, so now let's click on the sample pipeline, and let's go ahead and probably take a look at the jobs. Yep. So let's choose our sample pipeline, and we should be able to search for the job that is running. So number of outputs is 1. It's in the progressing status. So during this status, you can also go ahead and get email notifications if you would like using SMS. But in the meantime that this is being processed, let's take a look at the presets. So you can look at all of the presets that are available. And at the same time, you can also take a look at your own customized presets that you would like to create. So you can create your own customized preset, but you'll have to start with one of the predefined base presets. And at the same time, you can go ahead and configure your max bitrate, the buffer size. So all these configurations are totally out of the scope of the exam, but these are some things that a video editor would possibly know. I'm for sure not a video editor, so I'm not even going to try explaining most of these configurations, but just know that you can create your own presets. So let's take a look at our job, whether it was completed. So let's go ahead and search for it. So it's still in the progressing status. So let's wait for some time until the job has been fully completed. Okay, so right now you can see that I have just paused and started the recording. So it's in the complete status. So let's go ahead and take a look at that S3 bucket where we do have this output file. So right now this is the S3 bucket where we had uploaded our file to. Let's just do a simple refresh. And you should be able to see we do have a converted folder within which we have the converted file, and it's 182 MB in size, whereas the previous one was 30 MB in size. So therefore you get the idea that you can go ahead and convert as many videos as possible that you would like, have different pipelines for different jobs, wherein you would like one to be converted to 1080p, one in 720p, one probably for 480p for any kind of mobile devices that people would like to stream this video onto. So this is a pretty nice example of Elastic Transcoder. Long back, we used to use a lot of video editing, softwares to even do some conversion. I remember that I used to, pay for even one tool for just to convert some videos or some movies for a month, just to upscale the movies to see if, possibly to have a better pixel rate. But then I was mistaken a lot, because if you go ahead and record a video with 480p and you upscale it to 1080p, you not see much of a difference. But if you do have one in 4K and then you downgrade it to 1080p, you will have a really good experience. At least the pixel rates will be the same, I believe. So that was my experience when I was in 8th standard or 9th standard. So just sharing that with you. So thanks for listening to this session. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you got an idea regarding Elastic Transcoder. I'll catch you in the next session.